so I'm recording, and you can start talking whenever you want to.
Wait, are you going?
Yes.
Can I interrupt you before we...
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
Go for it?
Yeah.
Did you start?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was your most valued ISP experience?
My most valued ISP experience is learning how to do assignments the right way.
Can we redo this?
Tell us when are we on? Are we...
You're on now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, well,
No, I have to ask you the question.
no, who cares about the question?
I care.
I don't care.
Cole, what ISP experience do you value the most?
So I remember this time, Trey Faddis, if you remember him. It was freshman year, English class, and we had learned The Lord of the Flies, and we were having debates about The Lord of the Flies. You know, we do a lot of debate stuff. Trey is arguing, I forget who he was arguing against, but he was arguing that the beast in Lord of the Flies wasn't real. And the beast was just kind of something they talked about, and it might have been real, might have been not, but we were arguing that. And Trey's argument, it's just one of the moments that really defines IB. He said, you know, when I was a little kid, I had an imaginary friend. And one day my mom sat me down and said, "Sweetie, your imaginary friend isn't real. Sweetie, the beast isn't real."
The memory that makes me smile the most is all of the inside jokes that we've made as a class. You know how words mean things. Jello, jello, jello. Jello, jello, jello. Or the reverse side has a reverse side. You know, those things actually, they are significant if you actually think about it, but it's also a joke to us, and I think that's something that I'll always take away from this experience.
The thing that makes me smile the most, pretty much, is that for every single teacher that I've had, I provoked some reaction by them as sort of like, wow, this kid is ridiculous, or I've made him just stop and pause and stare at me. I remember the stare of every single teacher that I've done that to, and it's not they were disappointed, they just didn't know how to answer my question, or I was asking a stupid question just to be funny. But eventually it was, I don't know, they just got used to it. And so whenever I think about Miss Gillis, Miss Abrams, Miss Shaw, Miss Hartle, all the English teachers, and saying something absolutely ludicrous in their classes, it was just a really fun opportunity. And same thing with Mr. Kokudem, and how he thought he always had the upper hand in the conversation, and he understood every single part and the mechanics of every conversation, and I would just flip it on him, and he wouldn't understand. I'm doing an interview. An interview with me? Okay. Ask me a question. In terms of all of those things that I've done in my time at IB, I would say that my most favorite thing has been the science research and the science competitions that I've gone to. And it hasn't necessarily been, my favorite part wasn't about winning the awards. It was about the experiences that I received, because Jae-young and I achieved so highly with those, with our research. And I remember probably the experience that makes me smile the most when I think about the past 4 years was at one point during my sophomore year, I was at an international science competition in Houston, Texas, and I was with a group of people from all over the world, a group of young scientists from all over the world, who, like, we were all like on the same level with what we were passionate about. We were passionate about science and exploring our curiosity, and we were on the 3rd story of a hotel playing water polo in the swimming pool. And at the time, like, for like a while it didn't register, but it seemed like at one point it all registered. It clicked where I was, and it was an amazing experience.
Right now I'm in the library with my book buddy Emma, and I started doing book buddies because of Cass, but even though Cass is passed, I'm still involved because I made a connection with Emma, and I enjoy coming here every Tuesday and spending time and helping her with her homework and learning.
So what are you working on now?
Her EOGs are coming up, and so we're going through practice processes. And right now she's doing the coding.
The kids in our class, our senior class, have taught me to be comfortable with myself and to appreciate myself for who I am and just essentially be myself. And I think that it has helped me learn more, not only about myself, but about the people around me, and allow me to compare myself to everyone and see where our good parts of us are and the bad parts of us. And the students really helped me a lot with that, and how to just not let others tell you what to think or what to believe, but how to believe what you want to believe.
Doesn't matter. You're not gonna put that in there.
Probably the award ceremonies at the end of each year, because it was a good way to wrap up the year and really appreciate one another, I guess, and in IB terms, like reflect on everything that happened. I guess the award ceremonies where like the whole year culminates and we're really able to appreciate one another no matter what happened during the year.
I really value my personal project because it really allowed me to get to know myself better, especially as an artist, and experiment with the paints and different movements, and really got me to better understand the significance of your own personal style.
And what was your personal project?
I experimented in different art styles and art movements, and just to try to find my own style. And then through that experience and process, I found out that I can't create my own style. It grows with me as I grow on, and it'll change throughout my life.
I guess the lesson I'm probably going to take with me is, I guess, organizing my time differently, just with all the projects we've had. Those are really important to me because when I get to college, I'll be able to organize my time, and then also still have the time for fun and things like that, balancing out my schedule. And I guess that you really can just like make friends everywhere, and all different sorts of people, can come together to create something so great like this program that we've created. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm saying. What do I say? I think the biggest thing is understanding of how big the world is, and how many different viewpoints there are, and how many different cultures there are, that unless you get to experience it firsthand, even if you read about it or learn about it in school, it's just really something that you can't exactly comprehend unless you're there firsthand, and something that you can't completely understand unless you were born into it or are a part of it.
I value all the classes pretty much that we've taken, just because they've prepared us for the rest of high school, and they prepared us to go into college. And I think the teachers did a really great job, because a lot of us didn't appreciate what they were doing, like their techniques and stuff, but in the end it ended up helping us a lot. So yeah.
Was there a specific memory in Cochran's class that you liked, or you remembered specifically?
Yes, but it's also the answer to the thing that makes you smile.
So what memory makes you smile the most, Tristan?
Mr. Cochran's impression of an antelope.
Antelope?
Yeah, or something. It was like a deer or something, I can't remember. It was great.
How did it go?
Except it was Mr. Cochran doing it, so it looked funny.
No, I don't remember things.
Memory is just meeting so many great people at Mount Moore, and then later on in South Iredale. I made a lot of best friends who I hope to stay in contact with through college and after college, just to see where we are in 5-10 years from now.
Is there something special about the people here in particular?
It's just that I don't feel pressured when talking to a lot of these people. I just feel like I can be myself pretty much to a lot of my closer friends. I joke around with a lot, and we just get along really well.
Right there brings Ruby to stuff that really makes me smile. But it's kind of related to ISP. Would probably be junior year when we just started TOK with Thier, and I was trying so hard to get those freaking cows work, those cultural analysis logs. Trying so hard to get those to work, and I didn't, and I couldn't. And then one time, I made it, and I revised it, and I woke up, and I revised it again, and then I got 100.
In Northview, whenever I was at Northview, I was doing 8 clubs while doing community service at the same time, while making decent grades and showing that I was a well-rounded student because of IB, showed that I could handle going to ECU and staying away from family and do other things.
3, 2, 1, go. What is it? What experience?
What ISP experience?
Okay.
The
ISP experience that I value the most would probably be some days after school, Colt and Seth and I, and sometimes Rob. Not a lot of the times Rob, but sometimes Rob would go and get sushi at the local Japanese place, and we just kind of hang out.
The local watering hole.
Yeah, local watering hole. And we could just kind of hang out and eat sushi and talk about stuff. Sometimes it was intellectual, and sometimes it was like sometimes it was like who'd win in a armed cage fight, Sarah Palin or Hillary Clinton.
We've never had that discussion.
It was an example. We definitely did have that. Yeah.
Really? Oh,
yeah, okay. I definitely remember that one.
So hanging out and eating sushi and talking about awesome stuff with my friends is the ISP experience that I value the most.
Do I look at the camera? Doesn't matter. There are a whole lot of IB experiences that I really value, mainly because as cheesy as it sounds, every single day is a memory that you have to value. I mean, 20 minutes ago at lunch we sat around for a half hour discussing gay rights in a very heated argument, and the day before we had a huge debate about Star Wars, and the day before it's a different debate every day, and you learn something new every day that I can take with me for the rest of my life, and I value that.
Well, with standard-based grading, you can't just make it sound good. It has to actually be good, because you have to hit all the criterion to get a good grade. Because I mean, you can't just BS stuff if it doesn't actually have any substance behind it.
Right, and you said standards-based grading made you do that?
Well, yeah, because in normal grading, it's so much more arbitrary. If it sounds good, the teacher's going to be like, I guess that's a good paper, give you a good grade. And then standards-based grading, you have to actually hit like those seven criterion per standard.
I've learned that I can't always assume that I'm right, and that there is no right answer no matter how badly we want it to be true. And that every perspective matters, and that differs so much. And you just can't tell someone they're wrong because they're probably not, and that's what they believe. And that's what I know.
So my most impactful memory would probably be 9th grade in Mr. Year's language arts class. And up until then, I mean, I didn't really have much confidence in who I was, especially my intelligence. And he pulled me and another student aside, and he looked us both in the eye and said, hey, you know that you're a lot smarter than you think you are, and that kind of like changed me. It changed me in a way that I actually wanted to do well in school. And it's just one of those like life-changing moments that it doesn't just make you appreciate other people on this planet, but it makes you appreciate who you are.
Probably just our teachers, because all of them are really dedicated, and if you ever need help from your teachers, they're always there for you. The teachers I've had in IC have really had a big impact on me.
Just to stay positive. Things are so much easier when you have a positive attitude and not a negative attitude. You attack stuff so differently when you have a positive attitude. It makes life so much easier and less stressful.
I've learned so many lessons from IB, from my teachers, from the experiences, and the students. But I think the one that is going to stick with me the longest is that I'm never perfect. That I'm never at my full potential, that there's always something I could be doing that's better. And with every single person I met in IB, whether it be a teacher or a student or faculty, they've all made me better. They've all done something that's better than me, and at first it was really hard for me to grasp, but I think it's worth so much to be able to learn one thing from every single person you've met, and when you add up all of those little things, then at the end of your life you can look back and say, I am leaving this life as the the best possible me, and that's really what I want to learn from IB.